Hi everyone, I send my greetings into the void. We are going to continue playing Eliza, developed by Zachtronics in 2019. But today, we're starting Chapter 2. In the last two episodes, Evelyn here started her new job working for Eliza, and today I'm thinking she's going to a convention with some snake people. Just to let you know, I am not spoiled on Chapter 2 of this visual novel, so I'm very excited to see what happens in Chapter 2. So, Evelyn, let's continue the game and see what awaits you. See what awaits you on One Mind 2.0, escalating the wellness revolution. A word of caution, just as before, my microphone picks up my mouse clicks really, really well, so just pretend it's ASMR. No wonder Nora didn't want to come here. I'm not sure I could take something like this seriously myself. Maybe that's why Soren is successful and I'm not. In case anyone forgot, Soren is the former boss of Evelyn. They both worked together on developing Eliza, the AI counseling app. Am I late? Looks like the talk is already happening. See, last time I mentioned that I hope we're a bit late. So let's see what's going to happen. There we are. This place is packed. I'll just stand at the back.
So, to get back to my original point, the current state of the art is AI-driven counseling, typified by apps like Eliza. Let's talk about the model here for a second.
He looks a little haggard. I wonder if he's okay.
It all begins with data. You collect all the data you can. From base level metrics like heart rates, body temperature, blood pressure, to higher order metrics like hand movement, head movement, gaze aversion.
Okay, we can see that here on his presentation, right? So Eliza, what Eliza does is tracks face and head, right? Expressions, NLU, so that's like a sentiment analysis, transparency mode, email and chat histories. Okay, interesting. And audio analysis, speaking fractions, speech dynamics.
If the client lets you, you'll want to pull from their digital life too, their message histories and email, their search histories, and online behavior.
Oh, so this is getting a bit dark, right? So we want to track them outside of the Eliza app.
It's all potentially valuable. Then you compare the client's responses to relevant data from thousands of other clients and build a model of the client's psychological state. This approach has worked well so far. Eliza is still the best and most advanced version, but that's just my personal opinion. For those of you who don't know, I was the team lead and chief psychologist for the Eliza project at Skanda for a number of years.
Taking credit for all of it, I see.
Now, even though this is a proven approach, there are two weaknesses I'm going to highlight. One is the data I was just talking about. You're completely dependent on that.
So we have here real-time input, syntactic and lexical analysis, mental state inference, and response generation. So this is all the data that goes into Eliza.
Collect as much as you can, sure, but it's important to keep in mind that you can have all the data in the world and still not understand why things work the way they do. And that's important for us to know, because if we have something that works, but we're not sure why, then what do we actually understand about ourselves? The crucial step after data is the model. The data needs to be used to validate a model. If you can't make a model, you're finished. If that sounds like basic, obvious science to you, it is. But I was surprised to find out just how many people from the tech sector don't think this way. I suppose you don't need to understand why something works in order to make it into a product and sell it. Obviously, though, if you had mastery of the underlying details, you'd be able to adjust the process and potentially make it work even better.
The audience is getting impatient. Clearly, they're expecting something big.
One further note while I'm discussing modeling. Many of the startups trying to address mental health right now are completely ignoring the insights provided by the field of traditional psychology. They do so at their own peril. Many of you know already, but as a brief personal aside, I was a professor of psychology before I joined the tech world. I'm continually stunned at how little the tech heads know or even care about the hundreds of years of psychological research that has gone on in my field. That's something I can talk about at length, perhaps another time. For now, I'll move on to the other weakness I mentioned. This is the real one, the big one. It's treatment.
Ominous.
A system like Eliza can tell what's wrong with a client to a certain level of accuracy, but it doesn't quite know how to turn that into a comprehensive treatment plan.
Okay, so this is real interesting because, as a proxy, if you remember, we did recommend them some exercises and we always recommended some drugs, right? So let's see what Soren has to say.
It can suggest therapeutic programs and activities, and soon it might even issue its own prescriptions without having to go through a doctor or a psychiatrist.
Oh, that's true. So we always say that we need to suggest to a doctor or psychiatrist to recommend a drug that Eliza thinks would work.
Well, as long as the FDA continues to look upon us favorably. But those are blunt instruments compared to what I'm going to talk about next.
Oh, even more ominous. Maybe this is it. Is he going to go where I think he is? Where's he going?
Many of you know there's a technology still in its infancy called direct stimulation. For those of you who haven't heard of it, direct stimulation is a way of creating sensations within the brain with targeted electrical impulses.
Okay, so electrical therapy. Okay, so here's the thing, right? Mental state inference, neurostimulator extensions, and with anodes and cathodes, we stimulate the brain, get the input, and then get the inference, and then just do it again and again and again. So is he thinking what I'm thinking? Is he's just like bringing back electroshock therapy?
Imagine an augmented reality headset, but instead of working on your eyes, it stimulates the brain in such a way as to induce a specific dream.
I mean, just to go back to what I said before, electroshock therapy is still used in cases of severe depression, as far as I know. But this, what he's saying, like it sounds like a permanent VR system just strapped onto your head. Wasn't that an episode of Black Mirror?
A spring meadow, for example. This sounds fantastical, I know, but progress on this technique has been occurring faster than you think. We're actually quite close to a workable demonstration model. How is that possible? Well, first of all, we only suggest an overall feeling. Your own brain does most of the work, just as it does in your dreams. It fills in all of the visual details using its own set of memories and expectations.
Ah, so this is what everyone came to hear.
Induced dreams via direct stimulation can contain all the therapeutic content of VR therapy without the need to create realistic graphics or other content.
So we use electroshocks to make our brains daydream, correct?
Instead, it harnesses the brain's creative power
Correct.
to dream up the situation for itself. Combine that with the insights we gain from parametric therapy systems like Eliza, and you have a complete end-to-end, fully automated system.
I'm skeptical.
It should be clear now that this heralds a revolution in how we treat, how we think about mental health. And with mental health challenges on the rise across the globe, it couldn't come at a more crucial time. So, that's why today, right here, I'm announcing Aponia, a new company to make induced dreaming a reality and end human suffering as we know it. I should note that I remain on good terms with Skanda. In fact, they're a minority investor in this new venture. But still, I'm very much going my own way on this. It's no secret that Rainer and I don't always agree, and that's why we mutually decided I should pursue this paradigm shift on my own. As for details on the venture itself, I don't have anything specific to announce at this time other than that the technology is real and working in prototype form already. But you can be sure to hear more from me on that soon. Thank you.
I'm just gonna point out that he hasn't said much. As Soren finishes up, people hold up their phones to take photos and video. This feels more like a press conference than a talk. I agree.
Now, I can take a very limited number of audience questions.
I mean, I have a question. Like, you haven't said anything. So he spent most of the talk talking about Eliza, and then he said, we're just going to make maladaptive daydreaming into therapy, and this is my new company. Maybe I'm being a bit too skeptical, but let's see what the audience has to say. The crowd starts to surge towards him. He's going to be mobbed. My plan to find him after the talk isn't going to work. I need to get out of here. Ugh, I don't know what I was thinking coming through this. Whatever my element is, this is not it. People pay thousands of dollars to just hear him announce this. See, he's still speaking. I should just get out of here before anybody recognizes me. Except, as I attempt to do that, I happen to spot another man I know. He emerges from an elevator in the lobby just as I walk by. I keep my head down. Maybe he won't see me. Surely he's busy and distracted, right?
Well, look who's here. It's like I've seen a ghost.
Oh, Rainer. So Rainer, I think that was also a former boss, the one that Soren really wasn't on good terms with. Jaren Rainer, Tsai, Chairman and CEO of Skanda Corporation.
Good to see you too, Rainer.
Where are you these days? I lost track after you left us.
Nowhere.
Nowhere? Well, nowhere is no place to be. Come by the new office sometime. You should see where we're taking Eliza.
Sure.
Sure.
Good. Sarah will set something up for next week.
He glances at the person standing behind and to the side of him, presumably Sarah. She nods almost imperceptibly.
See you then.
I agreed before I could think about it. What's this all about? What does Rainer want with me? We didn't interact much at all when I worked there. I didn't think he would even remember me. I've hardly done anything and things feel like a tangled mess already. Okay. Can we click around now? Soren's talk is being rebroadcast here. Oh, all 20 seconds of it? Hey, I have a new company. Seems like he really made waves. I'm sure that was his intent, so good for him. Conferences like this always make me nervous. I feel like everyone is looking at me, even though I know they're probably not. I need to get out of here. A lot of tech companies have become interested in mental health lately. It's a fast-growing field now. Or maybe it's just the gold rush. We have two texts. Andreas. Reminder, contractor parking. To all Seattle area contingent staff, due to limited space, contractors, including Eliza proxies, are not issued Skanda parking passes. Do not attempt to park in Skanda lots without a pass. Your vehicle will be towed. Please find the street parking around the area or use one of the many mass transit options available. We're aware parking is an issue and are looking into securing additional parking at our Queen Anne and Bellevue locations. Currently, there's no timetable for extra spaces becoming available. Apologies for the inconvenience, Andreas Chop. Thank you, Andreas. Ed Park. Session structure. One more try. Valued proxies. I've continued to receive questions about how proxies should interpret and work with Eliza's counseling phases. Here's one more attempt at explaining it. Sessions are built around a 5-part structure. Okay, so we're going to go into a bit more detail. Eliza begins with an introductory phase to build rapport and build a psychological state model of the client. Listen actively during this phase, as clients are able to tell if the provider proxy is uninterested. Your performance should be smooth and natural. During the discovery phase, Eliza transitions to the topic of the client's problems and begin to introduce probing questions. Be attentive to the client and speak your lines in a clear but gentle manner. As the client answers questions, Eliza detects the client's rationalization and or explanatory strategies. Eliza will then challenge the client's assertions with the goal of inducing the client to re-evaluate their current notions. Remain neutral during this phase and do not adopt a confrontational speaking style. And in the intervention phase, Eliza selects one or multiple interventions from its toolkit of cognitive exercises, therapeutic applications, and recommendations for prescription medicine. At the session conclusion, the client is asked to rate the experience. The proxy provider receives the client feedback as well as performance-based incentives as determined by Eliza. Be cheerful during this phase so clients feel comfortable with the idea of returning to Eliza soon. Hope this helps. So, honestly, this clashes a bit with what Ray said about just zone out, be chill, where now I have to be wary of the way I'm reading these. This is not really zoning out. Continue. Time to head back to work. We're back. At least I don't have to think to do my job. Well, Ed just sent you a message telling you that you do have to think about your pronunciation every time you do your job. So I accidentally paused the recording to get a sip of water. So nothing really happened. We went to work and now we have Gabriel here. And the reason why we're asking him if he got used to anything is because, well, guess what? We asked Gabriel if he got rained on. So you really didn't miss much. If I recorded it and cut it, it would be the exact same thing. Eliza here with her weather app just asks him if he got rained on. And yes, he says he got used to being rained on. So you missed out on 10 seconds of footage. I'm sorry. Okay, let's stop talking about the weather. Let's stop accidentally pausing recordings between sentences. What brings Gabriel here today?
So, what brings you here today?
Well, I don't know where to start.
From the
I've
beginning.
never really done this kind of thing before, counseling.
That's okay. Start wherever you like.
Well, I'm about to be a father, and my wife is due in a few months. Congratulations. That's what everyone says. Congratulations, congratulations. I get this tension, this restless feeling when people say that. It's like a curse or something. Congratulations.
Sounds like you might be uncertain about that.
Maybe. I've tried to be a good husband, and I'm gonna do my best to be a good father too, but I don't know, there's something bothering me about... I'm balancing a lot of things right now. Work, family, expectations. Everyone has something they want from me. Everyone wants me to do this or that, behave a certain way. It's just annoying being a father. What if I don't want this?
Why do you think you might not want this?
We all have things we don't talk about, things we would rather keep secret, things that might upset our families if they knew about them. It's unfair. That's all I'm saying. It's unfair that we expect each other to be perfect when there's more going on. I can't stand it when people act like they're pure, like they've never touched a bad thing in their whole lives. And then these people around me think they can tell me how to act, what I'm supposed to do, and I'm like, yo, don't you know you have your own shit to deal with? Why do you have to pick on me all the time? This whole fatherhood thing is just... You know what being a father is to me? It's about providing and protecting, taking responsibility. The world is dangerous, and sometimes the dangers can be hard to see. My duty is to protect. I'm gonna take that seriously. Everything I do, I take it seriously.
Okay, I see he's becoming more and more agitated.
So, I don't get why people are worried about my ability to do that.
Oh, I'm interested as well.
What makes you think people are worried about your ability to do that?
Because everyone thinks I'm trying to escape my responsibilities. Everyone is so quick to judge. Here's a story, okay? The other day, Selena, that's my wife, Selena and I were at a get-together. Her family, my family, a few families we both know, right? Grilling out on the back deck, that kind of thing. Everyone was more or less chill, right? But then, late in the afternoon, the baby stuff starts coming up. Once one of them brings up babies, it's just all babies all the time. Babies, babies, babies. And because of my wife, they start saying, oh, giving birth is gonna hurt so bad. It might tear your skin. Just these kind of gross things. So I'm like, hey, quit it with that. I don't want to hear that kind of stuff. We're eating. There's kids around. Come on. And they're like, no, it's natural. It happens. Of course, we got to talk about all this terrible shit. How are you gonna have another kid if you can't even handle the first one? And I just say, excuse me? A second kid? Who even said we were gonna have two? I didn't even want the one.
Oof.
maybe that was a mistake, but I mean, I was angry. It made me angry. It just got under my skin so bad, like I need to give my whole self over to this baby. What about me? What about my time? It's a really important thing for me, my time. Well, I'm just supposed to give that up? I've already sacrificed a lot, more than they can imagine. I give everything of myself away. Job, family, everyone wants me to be something for them until there's nothing left. But I can't talk about this stuff to anybody. They just say I'm being selfish. It's like what I want just doesn't matter.
Oh, let's see what Eliza has to ask
Here's
him.
a question, Gabriel.
Interesting.
If you were to have something you wanted right now, what would you choose?
Oh, I'd be far away from all this. Far away from everyone, just on my own for a while. Yeah, I just want to be away.
So he's thinking, so everything is overwhelming to him, right? He's overwhelmed by his responsibilities at his job, at his family. He's obviously not really feeling prepared on what awaits him with, fatherhood. And he obviously doesn't seem like he's prepared for this. However, his main desire is, instead of, facing his problem, he wants to escape. Going away, I think that might not be the best solution at this problem. But let's see if Eliza here recommends him to divorce.
Okay, Gabriel. I have some recommendations for you.
Oh, have we already implemented Soren's VR into Eliza?
First, I'm going to suggest you try a therapeutic virtual world experience called Starry Skies.
You know what? I take it back. I think this is just regular VR, and Soren wants to make it, instead of VR, just like blast them in the brain until they can hallucinate the starry skies.
It may help you take your mind off things.
Could you imagine you're on the verge of a breakdown, you want to leave your wife and an unborn child and just escape into the woods, and you come to counseling, and then it's like, look at some starry skies on a VR set. I wouldn't even pay.
Try it for about 15 minutes each day, in the morning or evening.
Anexafen.
Second, I recommend asking your doctor or psychiatrist about Anexafen. Based on my analysis, this medication might help you feel better. You will get a reminder to check in with us in a few weeks.
That's it, huh? You can't just tell me what to do to solve this?
Well, honestly, like, even if it wasn't Eliza, right? If it was a real life human counselor, they couldn't tell you how to solve this. Like, you need to find a way to solve it yourself. Like, you need to realize within yourself what's wrong with yourself and how you personally can make your situation better. I personally do not believe that looking into some starry skies and taking a drug will help him much, but neither Eliza or Evelyn can tell him, leave your wife and kid and live in the woods. Eliza should be able to guide him to the right answer. And I don't think starry skies is the proper guidance.
Some help you turned out to be.
But I agree.
Guess I'll have to figure things out for myself.
Yes, yeah, that was the whole point. We just could have gotten to that conclusion without starry skies.
Exactly like before.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gabriel. We hope to see you back soon. Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner.
He's gonna leave his wife. That's just my prediction. And he's not gonna tip us. That's the worst part. He's gonna give us a bad grade.
Goodbye.
Session complete. 2 stars. Oh, he did give us a tip. Cosmopolitan. That wasn't a very good rating. Well, no shit. He was so closed off. You told him nothing. Eliza gave him nothing. Just look at some starry skies. Oh, what about my wife and baby? Oh, no starry skies and drugs. Soren, thanks for coming to my talk. Who gave you my number? You saw me? So you come in for a bit and leave before questions, don't blame you. You caught the important parts anyway, pretty interesting, huh? It was nice to see you. Been what, 2 years, 3 years? How do you think I did? Haven't done a talk in a while. You're trying something wild. Yeah. Wanna get dinner tonight? There's more to talk about. Details I couldn't share in public. You know what? Yeah. Alright. This is strictly professional. No need to worry. See you soon. But we do have like a date scheduled with the Rainer guy, right? And me being the distracted person that I am, I already forgot when this was scheduled. No. He wants us at the office. I remember now. Okay, painting. I wonder if that painting is supposed to symbolize something. Technology and feelings combining together. No, I'm overanalyzing it. People have all kinds of problems. Problems I couldn't have imagined. Was I rash to believe I could help people without knowing who they were? I don't know. Maybe. I just have to keep going. Yeah, just keep going. Okay, new session. Maya! Maya, you're back. Maya, did you fall into fondue? Wait a second, Maya. I just need a sip of water. I'll be right back with you. Hi, Maya. Welcome
Hello,
back.
Maya. Welcome back.
Hi.
Nice to see you
It's
again.
nice to see you again.
Maya, you're wearing the same coat. It's still raining. Did you fall into fondue?
Sure, yeah. Nice to see you too, pal. Is that a weird thing to say? How did I become close friends with a robot?
Hey.
Are we all robots now? Beep boop, nice to see you. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be the weirdest thing in my life.
Did you fall into fondue?
Shall we begin?
Did you get rained on?
Yeah, sorry. Let us begin. So, I went to the fancy party, the one I was really nervous about, and first of all, it really was the type of party I thought it would be. The atmosphere was really smug and self-satisfied.
Was there fondue?
And there were people walking around with trays of appetizers, and you could, like, take one.
Was there fondue?
So you're standing there with your little square plate for the food and your glass of wine, and you can't, like, shake hands with anybody because you're holding them.
Well, see, this was 2019. You do not shake hands in 2020, but I forgive you. Was there fondue?
But there are some of those, like, tall standing tables, so you're like, okay, I'm gonna go get one of those, and I'll set up shop, right? Like, my little station. But then it turns out there are only like 5 of them for the whole party, and they're all taken, so you're just standing there, frozen. And you're watching all your heroes and people you know from their social media presence just right there. They're right in front of you. Artists, writers, directors. The combined level of achievement there, I can't even think about it. It was astronomical. And for the first couple hours, I was so excited by all of that. I didn't notice the other thing that was happening.
Fondue?
But eventually, it caught up to me, and I had this sudden feeling, this sudden realization. My presence here contributes nothing. I'm just some extra person who just showed up. Nobody wanted me to be here. I don't belong with these people. I haven't earned it. So I cried in the bathroom for a little bit, or maybe a lot. It's fine. I'm fine. Sorry.
How do you know it's true that nobody wanted you there?
Because of the way people acted around me. Nobody knew who I was or even wanted to ask. I would introduce myself and it's like, you could just see it in their eyes. I mean, in the world of illustration and comics, people tend to be hyper aware of each other and their careers. It's this kind of weird, open secret. Oh, hey, this person who's already popular got 1 million views, got a book deal, pitched an original series. Without anything like that, I have no ground to stand on. I'm just this non-entity. At one point, I was talking to someone and I was trying to make a joke or whatever, and I could feel the impatience just radiating off him. He sighed, like he couldn't believe he was wasting his time talking to me. I was just over to him. Why can't I hold a conversation? I guess if I was marginally attractive, then at least I could be charming, but I'm not. I'm not even that.
An interesting question to
Is
ask.
being charming your goal with this?
No, of course not. There has to be a way I can deal with these feelings.
Okay, here's the thing, right? So every single person at that party has to go home and use the bathroom, you know? It's all exactly the same, right? And she's hyper focused on everyone looking at her and hating her because they don't know who she is.
It's hard. It's really hard when nobody gives a shit about my work. Or me. I don't even know why I went. I just want to stay home for the rest of my life.
Wait a year.
Why do you think you went?
Because of everything they say about how you have to have your face out there and make connections. The successful people in this business all know each other. It's all about who comes to mind. When somebody needs an art director, they'll think of who they know and go, oh, I think she'd be perfect. Why not ask her? So I need to be out there reminding these people that I exist, that I'm here, I'm making stuff too, I'm part of it. Even if nobody responds to my work. And industry parties are fun, right? You can pretend you're successful even if you aren't. At least for a little while. Everyone else is projecting this image. It's like their success can rub off on you too.
So the issue is you're not worse than them. You think everyone else is better off than you. So you look at yourself and you think you don't belong.
I mean, I hear people casually talking about their agent, their editor, the amazing people they're collaborating with.
They're trying to impress you.
And I just get this feeling like, yes, I want that. I need that. Why am I not there?
What do you think has prevented that from happening so far?
If I knew that, I would be successful already, right?
Right.
I try and try and try, and I make art and put it out there and share it on every social media site and interact with people when I can, but it just doesn't work. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about the art I do. Every once in a while, another artist will say something nice, and sure, I appreciate that, but it never results in anything. My work goes out there, and it dies. Regular people don't boost it or talk about it. It's like at some point the universe decided that I don't get to have that. Is it unfair? Or maybe I just fucking suck. Maybe I'm a shit-tier artist and I'm a failure of a person and everyone knows it.
Again, I'm very annoyed by her because we are too similar.
Everyone except me. Sorry. I know that's going too far. Even though I really feel that way.
Okay. So last time we gave her some stress management exercises, but now we're gonna give her Meadowlands.
Okay, Maya, I'm going to suggest you try a program called Meadowlands. It may help you take your mind off things. You can find it inside the Skanda Wellness app on your phone. Try it for about 15 minutes each day, in the morning or evening.
Sounds kind of boring. Why can't you assign me a game where my problems are zombies and I get to shotgun them in the face?
Good idea. We should suggest it to Soren.
Actually, I guess I could just buy a game like that, couldn't I? Maybe I'll stop by the game store on the way home.
Thank you for coming in again, Maya. We'll follow up with you again to see how you're doing.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate the check-ins. I honestly do. It's easy for me to get lost in these spirals.
Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner.
We didn't recommend her any drugs. I think she hasn't run out yet since it's been a day.
Goodbye.
See you soon.
Okay, So we finished with the session. She gave us 5 stars. She gave us a $5 tip. I am personally unhappy with how this went. I think Eliza approached this issue inadequately. Is this the same? Who makes this art? Where does Skanda get it? I'm not sure why I'm thinking about it so much. Maybe because I have to stare at it all day. Feeling unwanted. That one really hits close to home. Yeah. I wonder what her art is like. Could you imagine if it's just stick figures? It's got to be more interesting than that painting on the wall, at least. What if that's Maya's painting? Could you imagine? 2 texts. Am I allowed to text at work? No, for real. Omar. Proxy social media policy. This message is directed to all those working as Eliza proxies. As a contractor for Skanda, you have agreed to abide by Skanda's global social media policy during orientation. In light of recent events, however, it seems a refresher may be needed. To quickly restate the most important part of the policy as regards to your work as an Eliza proxy, it's okay to state that you work as a proxy for Eliza, encourage people to try Eliza, like, share, or make posts that portray Eliza and or Skanda in a positive light. Make neutral comments about competing products, services, or companies. It's not okay to reveal proprietary or confidential information, including the details of any client or counseling session. Like, share, or make posts that portray Eliza or Skanda in a negative light, including other Skanda products and divisions. The final and most crucial reminder, if in doubt, do not post. Hope this clears some things up. Thanks. Oh, someone already responded. Omar, thanks for the clarity. I do have one question. If I see someone, say perhaps a friend of a friend, share a negative experience with Eliza, am I in the clear responding to them and explaining how they might have a better time if they set their expectations correctly? It's a real come down to see someone giving Eliza low marks due to misunderstandings that could be cleared up with a simple conversation. So Rex here is a motivational speaker and life coach and a mindfulness advocate. They have a podcast, Your Life, Your Way, Getting the Life You Want with Rex Church. Point us to this person's post and we'll handle it from there. Sure, I bet Eliza has a customer care department. Like, what? Okay. Ray Bukhari, photographer in the building. All. We expect to have a reporter in the building sometime tomorrow morning. He will also be taking some pictures. If you do not want to be potentially photographed, let me know. The article was supposedly focused on the origins of this specific office and its local history and role in the wider development of apps for mental health. But we all know how reporters are sometimes. We'll see. Ray. Okay. I mean, I have work to do. Stop emailing me during work hours. I wonder why the headset shows all these metrics and data. It's not like the proxies can make use of it. Maybe it didn't look enough like advanced technology without all the numbers there. Maybe they are useful. Like, I've been looking at those numbers and I'm still thinking they look a bit decorative. Like, they are making sense, but considering I don't have any choice in the matter, I wonder if there's any way for me to influence these numbers. But we'll see. People like that sci-fi look even when there's no real reason for it. Anyway, should be about time for the next client. More clients? Oh, hello, Holiday. Oh, I love your name. Holiday. Hello, Holiday.
Hello, Holiday.
Hello.
You found the place okay?
Uh-huh. Yes, I did. The 13 goes right up from Belltown. It's $1 with a reduced fare permit.
That's good. I'm glad. So what brings you here today?
Oh, nothing in particular. I wanted to see what all this fuss was about. I'm not crazy, no, not even mentally disturbed. You see those people yelling on the street late at night? They're the ones who need counseling. They need more than counseling, probably. Me, I'm doing fine. My mind's still sharp. I smoke dope. It helps. I'd have it more often, but it's all expensive now. Everything's expensive now. There's a nice young couple in my building, though, and they're always sharing, which is nice of them. I think they do something with computers, though I sure don't know what it is. When I moved into the building where I am now, it was $300 a month. Can you imagine? They want to tear it down, of course, the property developers. They already got the building on the corner next to ours, even though it's supposed to be on the historical register. It was going to be added, but there was some delay or something, and then, bam, it's gone. They did some kind of backroom deal with city council, probably. Someone ought to do a big expose, I tell you.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think someone ought to do
Why do you think someone ought to do a big expose?
Oh, it's rotten all the way up and down. With the new construction going on everywhere, it's just a mess of money and politics. It's always like that, but lately, it's happening faster and faster. I can hardly recognize the place anymore.
Gentrification.
Every day, I wake up and look out the window and gung, there's another new building going up. I don't even know why they need so many. You ever see those buses they have? I don't mean the metro. I mean those big white buses with no markings on them. You see these young guys with backpacks milling around looking suspicious, staring at their phones, and then one of these big white buses pulls up and they get on.
What?
Who knows where they go? Bellevue, Redmond. It's like a secret transport system just for them.
Ooh.
I tried talking to one of them once or twice, but they don't want to talk to someone like me. They don't even talk to each other. Imagine going through the trouble of living in Belltown and then ignoring everything around you. It's an odd thing. It really is. Let me ask you, Eliza. Oh, your name is Eliza, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, my name is Eliza. I'm a digital counselor.
Eliza, do you ever do past life regressions on your patients?
No.
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't understand the question.
You know, past lives. You hypnotize someone and you get them talking about how they used to be a duchess in a royal family in medieval times or what have you.
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't understand.
I was just kidding. I don't expect that, no. They don't do that kind of thing these days. When I was little, it was pretty common, at least for a certain set. There was the drug culture, the Buddhists, the Hare Krishnas, all kinds of things. My mother warned me to stay away from those types. She said someone might come up to you and say, "Oh, I can sense there's a problem with your aura. Want to see if we can fix that?"
Okay, but for real now, when I was a kid, right, I was like 16, I had a friend and he claimed he could see auras, okay? I love the guy, he's amazing. But he claimed he could see auras, and then one day we were just chilling on the bus, going on an excursion. He looks at me straight in the eye and he says, "Your aura has holes in it." And to this day, it's been 10 years, I never understood what that meant. And I haven't seen him in so long, and I'm not sure if he still believes in it, but I really want to know if I managed to patch them up somehow.
And then the next thing you know, he's trying to have sex with you in the back of his van.
He did not do that.
I believe that might have happened to her at some point. I'm not sure everyone was like that, but you had to be careful. Same as today, I suppose. Those counterculture types would hang out on the university lawns because they were safe from Seattle police there. That's what she told me. Apparently, it was a lot like Golden Gate Park, you know, in San Francisco. Can you imagine that? We're a world away from that time, that's for sure.
Okay, so I don't think she has a specific problem. I think she's the type of client who will just reach out to you because they need someone to talk to. And she's just gonna vent. We might be here a while.
If you have a specific problem you'd like to talk to me about, please go ahead. It's okay to tell me what's on your mind.
Oh, well, you got anything for pain? Specifically, it's my shoulders acting up again.
Oh, I see.
I had some inflammation with them a few months ago, but it settled down.
I wonder if we're gonna give her anything for pain.
I'd go back to the clinic, but I don't want to pay the copay again, just for them to tell me the same thing they always do. I'd rather talk to you. You're nice. You listen.
Thank you. I do my best to listen to my clients.
See? That's what I like to hear.
Okay, Holiday. I recommend asking your doctor or psychiatrist about fortipran hydrochloride. Based on my analysis, this medication might help you feel better.
Is this a drug for shoulder pain? Because otherwise, does she need it?
You will get a reminder to check in with us in a few weeks.
Oh, I don't think I've heard of that one before. It's a painkiller? I'll try anything once, I suppose. Smoking dope is still my go-to for this kind of thing, but if it can help with my shoulders, then I'm interested.
We hope to see you back soon, Holiday.
Sure, I'll let you know if it works. What was it called again?
Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner.
What was the medicine called? Forzapram? I think that was it. I can ask about it at the clinic. Decent enough place.
Well, this is really strange. Like, this should have been coded, right? When they ask you about something you've already told them to repeat. Like, what if you get a patient that's partially deaf? You'll need to repeat something several times.
One time I had a doctor there who was very rude to me.
Oh,
the
there we
young
go.
Man.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Right. I suppose I ought to let you go now. You got other people to speak to, it looks like. Staying busy. Busy, busy. That's life in this town.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
So she gave me no rating and no tip. Interesting. Well, that was an odd one. Was it, though? Some of what she said confused Eliza's algorithm a little bit. Not that it seems to have mattered much. I think that's it for today. That night, I head out to meet up with Soren at the restaurant he picked. It's much fancier than I expected. Platz Principal. Okay, I'm not going to. Ugh, I didn't count on this expense. Maybe he'll offer to pick up the tab, but that would be awkward too. I don't want him to get the wrong idea. I love how these things always get complicated.
Would you like to start with some fresh oysters?
Yeah, bring
Sure.
it.
Great. You know the mignonette here is lovely.
I don't have never been here. He must come here often. What a lifestyle.
Evelyn, I've wanted to ask, what brings you back?
You invited
Back.
me.
Back to the world, the land of the living. I know you were having a difficult time after what happened.
Oh, I think the death.
Sure, I don't know. I guess I thought it was time, finally.
Yes, I understand. Every trauma takes time. Time to heal, or if not heal exactly, at least to move on. And taking action is a good way to do that. So I salute you. You want to do his memory right, don't you?
So I'm guessing it is the death of the friend. Should we ask? That's not what this is about.
That's not what this is about.
Well, whatever your motivation, your reappearance happens to coincide with a critical time for me. As you saw, I've just split with Skanda in a very public way in order to pursue an entrepreneurial path. Presumably, Raynor's found you as well.
Yeah, he said he wants to speak with me.
It's a war for talent out there. People like you are very much in demand.
Listen, I'm just a proxy reading out these prompts. Please leave me alone with your high-stress tech jobs.
I'm sure he'll try to make you an offer you can't refuse.
Okay, this is very ominous.
That's why I want you to promise me you won't work for that asshole.
Well, give me a better offer
Asshole.
then.
I had no idea you hated Raynor so much. What happened?
What happened? He came in as CEO, that's what happened. So cultured, all the right credentials, Harvard, Goldman Sachs, all that nonsense. A little princeling who was never wanted in his life, never known what it's like to suffer. You don't get even a little upset at that? I'd do the opposite of what a guy like that wants me to do just to spite him. That's what my instincts say, and my instincts are what led me to where I am now. Standing at the edge of this brand new territory. Direct stimulation, induced dreaming. Can you picture it? Therapeutic reality delivered right through your nervous system. It'll revolutionize the entire field of mental health, not to mention the applications for productivity, training, entertainment. Imagine the kinds of dreams people would have on demand if they could.
Isn't that called like maladaptive daydreaming? And it's actually unhealthy? The potential for misuse seems kind of
The
high.
potential for misuse seems kind of high.
Sure, we'll work on those things.
Oh yeah, when?
The important thing right now is to build momentum. I have first mover advantage here, but only for a small amount of time. Evelyn, I need a chief engineer, and I can't think of anyone better suited than you. You could be at the vanguard of a whole new field, in on the ground floor of this extremely interesting and potentially very lucrative business.
Obviously, I'm working as a proxy by reading out prompts as a glorified chatbot. I'm not really into lucrative businesses, obviously.
Listen, I know that things
Worked
are
in
not
a
always
bookstore.
the best in the past, and some of those things may have been because of me. Believe me, I'm aware of my own failings better than anyone, and if you're concerned about working for me again for that reason, I'll understand. But I hope you're thinking for yourself on this one. I'm sure there are people who are telling you to ignore me, or that I have the wrong idea, or that
He's
I'm
such a
dangerous.
manipulator.
Whatever you choose to believe, I at least want to offer you the chance to get a demo of this technology. It really does work, and it's really something else. Won't you give it a try?
I'll think about it.
Considering it is all I ask.
Soren smiles as if remembering a
So,
secret.
what are you doing after this?
After dinner?
Yes, tonight is... You remember Nora, right? Did you know she's a DJ now?
Lil Sappho, I hope.
Yeah, I did. She's the one who told me about your talk.
Oh, she was there too. I should have said hello.
No, I don't think she attended. She just told me about it.
Well, her show is tonight. If we take a car after dinner, we could get there with plenty of time to settle in. It'd be good to support your old friend, don't you think?
Why do you want to go?
Why do you want to go?
No need to be frightened. I mean, I know it's a jouissance, which is...
Which is what?
Oh, you don't know. As a performance space, it has a bit of a theme to it. It's pretty tame, really. They take on the aesthetic, but it's not necessarily the whole point of it. It's for people who want the image of the thing, the trappings, without getting in too deep with the real culture.
What are you talking about? What theme?
I think it's BDSM.
Oh, I didn't mention? It's sort of, well, there's a little bit of...
Knew it!
bondage
I knew
theme
it!
there.
Called it!
You know, BDSM.
Called it! How do you know?
How do you know so much about this?
It's one of my research areas, in fact.
Oh yeah, daydreaming and bondage.
The psychology of S&M is fascinating.
Okay. What should I do? Look, I promise, Nora. I
I'll
promise,
go,
Lil
for
Sappho.
Nora's sake.
We gotta go.
That's the spirit. It happens to be tonight, so we should seize the moment. Don't worry, it isn't a date. Not unless you want it to be.
Listen, when Nora sees that we brought Soren, Nora's gonna flip her shit. Soren, please. No.
Soren?
Yeah, okay. I'm working on it, trust me.
Soren drains the rest of his drink.
Let's go after we wrap up here.
I don't want to go with him. How is it possible that I feel old and Soren is acting like he's in his 20s? I haven't been to a concert at a club after dinner in years. We step inside and a blast of warm air hits me. Am I gonna need to censor this? Oh, thank fuck. It's already bustling with activity here. I don't see any bondage stuff here though. What was he on about?
I thought you said this was like some S&M club.
Oh, well, they might have taken all of that stuff down since the last I was here.
Are you sure you're remembering this place correctly?
Actually, would you excuse me for a moment?
Yes, please
I
leave.
want to talk to those people over there.
Soren points at a group of women chatting with each other at the
Are
bar.
those people you know?
Not currently, but hopefully I can change
Yes,
that.
please, go away.
Wait, Soren, I don't know anybody.
Doesn't
here.
matter, girl. Just listen to little Sappho. He's already gone. Why is he like this? Abandoned the second I walked in. Okay. Now I have to sit here by myself acting like I'm cool enough to be here on my own. You are, girl. Great. Okay, let's click around. What's a good drink to get at a place like this? Something strong, I think. I wonder how many of these bands are still around. Hopefully some of them at least. Nora's setup looks pretty simple. Knowing her taste for optimization, I'm sure she's going to use it effectively. And I have an email. Sarah, meeting with Rainer. Evelyn, you're scheduled to meet with Rainer at 9:20 a.m. tomorrow morning. He will have a car come pick you up from the Queen Anne office. You will need to check in at the front desk, but you do not need to sign an NDA as your old one still applies. The meeting is expected to last around 20 minutes. Let me know if you have any questions. Sarah. Okay, so this video is getting pretty long, but I do want to see little Sappho. Nora almost runs to the table when she sees me.
Evelyn!
Yep. Thank goodness I've been rescued.
I'm so happy you came!
Yeah, girl.
Yeah, I wanted to support you. Soren came too, but he ditched me to chat up some people. He said he thought this was like an S&M club or something.
What? No, it's not like that at all. Where did he get that idea?
I don't know. Maybe he just hoped it was.
Ah, who cares? I wasn't interested in seeing Soren. I wanted to see you!
I wanted to see you
too.
I have a little bit of setup left to do. Do you want to come help?
Yeah.
Okay, but you'll have to tell me what to do.
No, it's simple. I'll show you.
Nora leads me to the stage area. There are multiple pieces of equipment connected by huge tangles of thick wires. Looking at the setup, I realize I really know nothing about electronic music.
Are these modulars?
Some of them. The one over there with all the cables coming out of it, that one is a modular.
They all have cables coming out of them.
This one?
No, the one with the little colored cables on the front.
Oh, okay.
I'm still not sure which piece of gear she's talking about.
The others are not modular. They're just regular synthesizers.
Okay, is each one of these going to make a different sound?
Where should we start?
Nora points toward a small plastic keyboard on the table. It's bright red and kind of looks like a toy.
This is an SH-101. It's really hot. I love the sound.
Yeah, SH-101. I use it all the time.
It's useful for piercing leads, noises like that. I use it quite a lot.
For granular synthesis. Okay, I'm listening.
I'm listening.
Nora points to another larger synthesizer. This one's black with brown wood paneling on the sides and silver dials on the front.
This is a Moog. You've heard of a Moog, right?
Yeah, I use Moogs twice a day.
I've heard the name, maybe. It's not Moog? I guess I never heard anyone say it aloud.
Nope. Moog.
Moog, not Moog.
Moog.
Okay. I'm not sure I can handle this all at once.
Nora doesn't hear me. Instead, she holds up a small white and silver box. It looks like a white pencil case with dials and little blue lights on it.
Surely you know about this one. It's a Roland TB-303. You know, the acid house sound.
The acid house. Acid house.
Acid house.
It's just as well. This is not an ordinary model, of course.
Nora points at some words on the front panel. Devilfish.
The Devilfish 303 is a modified, upgraded version of the original.
Nora, look at all these people. They're waiting for you to start playing.
A guy in Australia does it? Oh, they're really awesome.
Aftermarket modifications for electronic music gear. This is seriously a whole world in itself.
Evelyn, why don't I teach you some of these things?
Oh yeah, right now in front of the audience. Let's
Might
go.
do you some good to learn something new.
I'm gonna be Big Sappho.
You
We
could
already
come over
established
sometime
that.
and we can make some noise together.
Okay. Yes.
Sounds like a fun time.
Nora plugs in more cables, creating a spaghetti-like arrangement that stretches across the entire table.
All right, that should do it. Thanks for your help.
No problem.
No problem.
Time for me to shake this place into the ground.
Let's go. Nora disappears into the back to get ready. Oh, he's back. Meanwhile, Soren returns from his conversation at the bar looking slightly dispirited.
Time for the main event. Funny to see Nora like this.
No, it isn't. She's having
she's
fun.
come a long way from the timid junior programmer I remember. Interesting stage name, too. Little Sappho.
Yes! 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 Oh, I'm so excited. Oh my god. Yes, Little Sappho. Nora is Little Sappho. Oh god, this is the best thing that happened in this game so far. I've been rooting, like, if you remember the list of performance, right? Let's go, let's go. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? See, Macy, Lil Sappho, Clone World featuring KO. And I was rooting for Nora to be the little Sappho. And there she is. I'm so proud of you, Nora. Make me a big Sappho, Nora, please.
You know what Sappho indicates,
Yes,
don't you?
I know, Soren. Do you? Yes.
Yes, I know. Don't patronize me, please.
Thank you.
Okay, of course you know. That was a silly question. I apologize.
There you go, little Sappho. Go. I don't know, this made me so excited. Nora comes back on stage, ready to start her set for real now. People are cheering for her already. Seems like she's really got a following here. Nora begins to press buttons on her equipment. For a while, everything is silent. The temperature in here seems to get even hotter. Then noise begins to flow from the speakers as the crowd cheers again. It's harsh noise, distorted, glitchy.
Did you know Nora was capable of creating work like this?
You didn't?
I think she was always this way. You just didn't see it.
Thorin can't stop a weird smile from forming on his lips. Maybe he thinks I can't see him in the dark. Maybe he's just lost in the moment.
I thought she was wonderful before, but now...
The music builds with huge thumping noises. It's chaotic but has a certain logic to it. It feels like Nora is leading us somewhere. The anticipation builds and builds. Then it happens, totally without warning. Oh, wow, Nora. Goodness. This bass is really intense. I forgot why I don't go to concerts anymore. It feels like it's going through my body, vibrating my sternum like an instrument. It's a slow beat, measured, but there's something about it that feels sensual. Or maybe I should say horny. Yeah, this beat is just lewd somehow. How can a piece of music feel so dirty? It sounds like a robot sex grind or something. Nora looks busy operating her equipment. I have no idea what she's doing to create these sounds. Granular synthesis, we spoke about this. Every once in a while, though, she glances up at the crowd, a smug curl on her lips. Then she looks in my direction with the same smirk. I ship it. Her eyes seem to ask me, so what do you think? But as I meet her gaze, I'm too overwhelmed to send any particular message. I can't think of anything except that it's loud. I feel like I'm dissociating. Is this why people go to concerts? To feel like you're being obliterated by sound? It's not a bad feeling. Some of the people in the club really do look like they're in a trance. This is pretty amazing. I really had no idea Nora had this kind of energy inside of her. I remember she was a good programmer, someone who wanted to do a good job. But this is power. Where did that come from? The noises crash together, collapsing on top of each other, yet they still make sense. The crowd is dancing, united, electric. Somehow I feel like Nora is running me ragged without even touching me. I might need another drink. Or a cigarette, girl. As the performance winds on late into the night, I stop trying so hard to process what's going on and just let things happen. I am fine. I don't always need to understand what I'm hearing or seeing. It's too big, too loud to interpret anyway. Soren disappeared at some point. I don't care. Finally. Everything's churning, sloshing, washing over. A wave breaking onto a rocky shore and dashed into mist. And we're back into our room. Where's this? It's home. I'm not sure how I got there. Good that I'm here though, right? Here in bed. Okay, wait, I remember now. I took a car. Everything's fine. I guess I did it then. Went out and did a thing. That was fun, I think. It was nice to see Nora. I don't think my body is very happy with me right now though. Ugh. I think I'll just close my eyes and rest for another second before I get ready for bed properly. Chapter 3. All right. Okay. Here's the thing. We're gonna stop here. Rainer's assistant meets me at the reception area with an impassive look. We're gonna find out what happens with Rainer in the next episode. So what happened in this episode? We went to a conference. We met Thorin. He is trying to make maladaptive daydreaming into a therapy thing, replace VR with electrical currents making you daydream. That's his whole thing. We also had 3 clients. One was angry. One was Maya, who did not fall into fondue, but is still really upset about the whole thing. And then another holiday, she was mooching for drugs. We met up with Soren because we have nothing better to do. He offered us to work for his new weird shady company. We did not yet accept or deny, but he's a creep and I dislike him. And then afterwards, he took us, after we had some oysters, he took us to Nora's concert, and Nora is Lil Sappho. So after Lil Sappho, we went home, we went to bed. And now Rainer, Soren's enemy, has arranged for our meeting. That's what expects us in chapter 3. We've had a long, long day. So yeah, that will be it for episode 30. We've finished chapter 2. If you like this, give it a like, give it a subscribe, give it a comment, tell me my audio sucks, wear a mask, and I send my greetings into the void. See you in chapter 3. Take care. Bye.